About the IRC and the urban ministry 67-day limit.
Mark.
My name is Mark Stinson, and I was formerly homeless for 12 years, and I've stayed at the urban ministries and did their 67 days. And that's all they give me. It was 67 days, and then they booted me out. And it takes a year before I can come back around just to get 30 days. If I'm out here without a job and everything, I can't get my life together in 67 days. And wait a year to get 30 more days, where am I going to go in between that time, except for out in the woods, or live up under the bridge, or live on the park bench up there in the city, or somewhere where there's a heat vent so I can stay warm, or something like that, because I got nowhere to go. I got no warm place, and if there's not a shelter or something that I can get into as a wee shelter, or as we call it, a Christ shelter now, because whenever it gets real cold, but the temperature's got to be down to 25. I mean, what am I going to do whenever it's 26 or 27 and a half? Where am I going to go? Be out there in the cold and freeze, because I can't go anywhere else. I got to wait for the temperature to be 25, and then I'll be out there maybe frozen to death, because temperature, the freezing point is 32 degrees. Your body's laying on the cold ground, you're cold to the bone. Your whole body stays cold. You can't never get warm, no matter how many clothes you have on, or blankets you put around you, or sleeping bags, or whatever. So where can we help in that with the no barrier shelters and everything? And no barriers mean, like whenever I've served there, people spit in my face, but I didn't kick them out in the cold, because they're not, you know, my saying is everybody's somebody. And that means anybody out here could be your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your grandmother, your grandfather. You never know who may be out here on the streets. People didn't know where I was for a good 8 years before they ever found me, you know. But I didn't want to be found either, and I was right up under their nose, but I never got in no trouble. I never broke the law, except for walking on the railroad track, and they give me a ticket for it. But then they blessed me with giving me a night in jail, because it froze, snowed that night. I think it was like, I don't know, I want to say 7 inches that night. And thank God I got to stay in jail, but they let me out at 5 o'clock the next morning. I didn't have no coat, no nothing, whenever I left the jail. Thank God that person with street watch, his husband, came and picked me up that morning at 5 o'clock in the morning with nowhere to go. Wasn't prepared for the winter. Next morning I didn't go to court prepared for it. And it's the small things like that, you know. Why are we treating these people? Would you treat your dog that way? I mean, if you do, I know it happens. I see it all the time. Poor animal out there on chain, running around all tangled up, you know. But we're supposed to be human beings, and we're supposed to be godly. We're supposed to be Christians. Where's the Christianity? Where's Jesus' love at? You know, that's what you need. Find more of Jesus in your life, and realize. Because right now, I quit a paying job and took over a non-paying job, but I work with others in addiction, because that's where I came from, in homelessness, and I still work with them. So, you know, whenever your churches are sitting on, several $1,000s, $2,500 waiting for that air conditioner to break down, why don't you go ahead and spend that money and have faith and know that God's going to provide the money whenever that happens, and use the money to house somebody or feed them or help a family or do something like that. That's the way I think.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.